tonight, special KOF shout out to the homeboys at Dream Cancel. You know.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dream Cancel podcast, and this is episode 122 of Dream Cancel Live. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCancel.com. In this episode, we are going to review King of Fighters 15 that just released yesterday, which was February the 17th of 2022. And the version of the game is now at 1.02. So we're going to just talk about how we feel about the game and whatnot, man. From the graphics to the sounds to the gameplay to how much we are enjoying the game and whatnot, and also we're gonna briefly just talk about just some recent events and recent tournaments that are gonna have King of Fighters 15. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give it a like, and if you're watching the playback, be sure to put in a comment of what do you think of King of Fighters 15. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the discussion panel for this episode. Let's go. Let's see. So first and foremost, would like to again thank everyone for just hanging in there with us. We haven't done this in a while. We have not done this in a while. So yeah, thank y'all so much. For your patience and whatnot. So I would like to introduce DZ Kujaku. What's good?
Hi. What's up, everybody? Just I'm gonna be honest, I was not prepared when we started the voice call. But yeah, happy to be here. Looking forward to the discussion. So yeah. That's my introduction.
All right, cool. Great. Thank you so much. And can you remind everyone where you are based out in?
I'm based in Philadelphia. I have been playing KOF since before I honestly started school.
Okay.
Since 5 years old, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just a continuing. With 15 coming out, it's just a continuing legacy of me supporting the series that I basically grew up with.
Okay. All right, great. Sounds good, man. Good to have you on, as always, for sure. Next up, we have Lazy Fred. Yo, what is up, Lazy Fred? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's been a while since we done this, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not proud of the the long amount of time that we haven't done this, but it's okay.
I know. So I used to be based on the East Coast for a long time, but I moved to the West Coast, so I'm now based in San Diego.
Oh, great! That's what's up.
Yeah.
How do you like it compared to living out east?
Well, the winter's a little bit mild, so there's no snow. I'm not sure if I like it. It's too warm here.
Oh man, so yeah, that sounds kind of good to me. Where it's always kind of
getting softer every day. Without the harsh winters,
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's good that you enjoy it up there, man. 100%. All right, and also we have Esteban Mexican. He's been with the podcast for quite a while. Mexican, what's good?
Hey, what's going on? I'm Mexican, based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Still have been since the beginning. I've been playing KOF since 2012. But I've popped around a bunch of them. So definitely enjoying my time so far with this game. And I'm excited for this convo. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, man. But yeah, it's always good to have you on here. 100%, even in the past podcast days, and also with Lazy Fred. Oh, Lazy Fred got the camera on. Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Oh, yeah, it took me forever. Look, my shirt, Bogart Brothers, top tiers right here.
Oh, yeah, that's a really, really good shirt. That's a Rochinaji. Sir, right?
Yeah, the gunsmith shirt.
Oh yeah, that's a great shirt. Oh yeah, all right, cool. So before we get into the meat of the discussion, just want to let people know of just some past events and whatnot, and some future events and some other little things concerning KOF and SNK. Most importantly, King of Fighters 15. So yeah, just want to let people know. Thank y'all so much for helping us out with the wiki, the Dream Cancel wiki for King of Fighters 15. There's a lot of people hard at work right now filling in character pages, frame data, all that stuff right now. And also, we do have some technical difficulties with email registration. It seems like there's some issue with Gmail specifically, just Gmail. Every other email service is good to go except Gmail. I don't know what's going on. I think they or maybe they're blocking the site or something like that. But until it gets cleared up, if you want to sign up on the site, do not use Gmail. Use a temp email or use like Hotmail or Yahoo or AOL or I don't know what other alternatives. But yeah, again, big props to everyone that's working on the Dream Cancel Wiki for King of Fighters 15 and for like 98 UMFE. 98 UMFE is looking really good right now. The people in that Discord have done a good job and are continuing to do so. And with O2UM, that wiki is like really good, and people still working on it, because like wiki work is difficult. So thank y'all so much. And also join the Dream Cancel Discord server. We're going to have all the links and stuff in the description section of this video below. And you can also use the server to go to other servers like the King of Fighters 15 server. I think there's a couple of ones that have been kind of opening up and whatnot. I know DZ, you're admin or a mod for that one, right?
Excuse me. I'm one of the admins for the KOF 15 North American server.
Okay.
It's like Kenshi actually owns the server. But yeah, it's like me, him, and like Juicebox, and it's like he has like 5 or 6 mods. I lost count, but yeah, we have a decent amount of mods because we want to make sure someone's always around. No matter what time of day that something would require our attention. But yeah,
yes,
we got a decent team and got a healthy amount of members. I think we're like 600 plus at this point. And like ever since the game came out, like every moment of every day, like there's something unread. Like there's a character channel or like main discussion channel. A lot of people are collabing to work on the Dream Cancel Wiki because I guess we kind of like universally just decided that the Dream Cancel Wiki is where we're going to put everything for people that don't want to join a Discord or go through a Twitter hashtag. But yeah, like it's all coming together. Just about every channel has someone posting something related to the character, so that's really good. So yeah, I think, do you have the invite link or do you want me to post it? Or I guess you can put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Okay.
The video for sure, 100% for sure. But yeah, y'all doing a good job up there, man. Like,
thank you,
man, 100%. And yeah, like I said before, there's some other KOF 15 Discords. People should join as well. Because anybody can make a Discord server, it seems, but yeah, definitely check out the associated servers in the Dream Cancel Discord server, for you can just join up on many different ones. Also, what else is going on? Why don't we talk real quick about a past event? Was it? Oh yeah, NLBC for King of Fighters 15 top 3. Rome himself second was Aru, third was Anamunk. Did any of y'all check that out?
I was busy. I couldn't watch it.
Okay. Esteban?
I only caught the. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can go ahead, Fred.
I was gonna say I caught the grand finals because it was happening at the same time with Wednesday night fight. So I caught a little bit at grand finals, Aru versus Rome himself, and yeah, it was great. Rome pulled through with his Quark, and basically just Aru didn't know what to do. Aru was lost against that Quark.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked like I think Rome was in like losers, and he just like came all the way back.
Yeah, it just came back. Yeah, it's all Quark.
Yeah,
Aru was getting lost more and more. game by game. You just tell.
Yeah. I know. I was feeling for him. I was like, oh man, like I know that feeling when you're in a like grand.
You just got
finals.
Clark. You know the feeling, right? Sometimes people just get in your head, and that's Clark.
Yeah, exactly. So Clark is looking pretty strong.
Oh yeah, I was just actually just playing with someone and talking. I think Clark is up there in this game.
Yeah. We'll get into a little more about that. Pretty soon.
We'll talk more about it.
Yeah, because I kind of want to know a little bit more about that for sure. But yeah, really good tournament. But like you said, at the same time, there was Wednesday night fights, and first place Dechimo, second place Erosa, third place Rero Azamiya, fourth place Paco, and then many other good players underneath that. And watching
the bracket was stacked, man.
Yeah, how many people joined up?
Probably like 70 something.
Ooh,
and
70?
Just tons of good players, like a lot of good Mexican players in there.
Wow.
Yo, and Midwest took it.
Dechimo, this guy's a beast.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys can expect, but we'll talk more about it. But his characters has only gotten crazier.
Yeah. Watching Dechimo play and playing Dechimo, it's like, oh my god, it's like the Psyduck meme. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good. Like when you're playing him, it feels like you're playing like a different game or something. Like he just sculpts everything just to the way that he wants it. And really talented player. And then El Rosa too with his King of Dinosaurs. Crazy. Very, very crazy. 100%. But for those that check that out, let us know what you thought of it in the comments. And why don't we skip ahead to some future events? So Lunar Bout 2022 was April 16th and 17th. Who's going?
I'll be there.
I will be there as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be there as well. I think I'm gonna try to find a plane ticket for sure, a little cheap little plane ticket.
I'll try to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the timing. The timing's great. It's a good springboard for Combo Breaker if anyone's planning to go to that. Because at that point the game will be out for like what, 2 months.
Yeah.
But like the Combo Breaker is like the big one. I'm really curious to see who's gonna end up winning that one.
Yeah. I know 100% that's gonna be crazy. But yeah. Y'all check out Lunar Bout for sure. And we're just talking about Combo Breaker, May 27th, 29th. It's in what's it called? Schlussenburg, like Illinois.
Schaumburg.
There we go.
Schaumburg. Okay.
Schaumburg.
I couldn't pronounce it either. I was like,
I was reading it. I was like Schlussen. So yeah. It's going to be there. I don't know where that is. I'm guessing it's probably close to the.
It's a suburb.
Chicago area? Okay.
yeah, Chicago suburbs.
Got it. All right. Cool. Yeah, and sign up. I think I might have to do that. Like maybe after this broadcast or sometime tomorrow.
I would do that soon, only because Combo Breaker. If the hotel sold out that fast, and like the mystery tournament hit cap, and there's a couple other games that might hit cap. KOF 15 is a new game, and I'm really worried that some people that are like hardcore KOF players are going to get shut out if it caps. So that's why I've just been telling people, like get in there now if you can.
Yeah,
Yep,
for sure.
I agree.
Like even if you just do like your base registration in KOF and like you add your other games later, because that's what I'm doing. It's like at least get KOF in there,
Right.
because a lot of people are going to sign up just because it's new, and they might not even show up, but the bracket size is still going to be huge.
Right.
Yeah, I heard within the first 8 hours or so there were already 300 signups for KOF.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know what the cap is going to be, like 624 or something, but like within the first 8 hours, 300 signups. So
it's going to be the biggest KOF bracket I've seen in a long time.
I also think, if I remember hearing right or reading it right, is I think there is an actual attendance cap, like as an event. I think it's at 6,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you never know, man. Everyone's itching to travel. Everyone's trying to go to a tournament. It's been too long. Like, I could see it hitting that cap. So sooner than later is definitely the better way to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely get on that really soon, and everyone else as well. So go ahead and do that. And I think that's kind of it for right now. I know I'm probably missing some stuff. I know there's probably some online tournaments. Is there anything?
Texas Showdown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's a big one.
That's right. Is that like early May?
Hold on. I remember someone
it's been, but
you got a link?
I'm bringing it up now.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in the. As soon as I find the chat, there it is.
Just to go ahead and say it, it's April 22nd to the 24th.
Yep. That's a week after. That's a week after Lunabout. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people in that region might hit that up. Texas Showdown. Okay. Wow. That's pretty neat. April 22nd, 24th, and Houston, Texas. Okay. Yeah, they've been doing their thing for a while, man.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Showdown. Did they do something last year or something? I don't recall.
No, a lot of tournaments didn't. Like at least on their page right now, apparently there's a special notice for entrants who signed up for 2020. So I'm assuming they didn't do anything in 2021.
Ooh, okay, that's fair. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. I wonder who's gonna show up to that. That should be really interesting. All right. So why don't we start with with our group review, and I think we can kind of hit this from many different sort of like angles, pretty much. But why don't we kind of start simple? Why don't we like just start with the graphics and then just kind of like let things kind of fall to other categories. So yeah. Well, let me see. Why don't I just pick someone? What about you, Esteban? How do you feel about the graphics in 15?
The graphics definitely look really good. You can definitely tell that throughout just every game that SNK has come out with, that they're basically just building off of the previous one, and that's not a bad thing. I'd much rather them do that than trying to like throw a whole new art style and like throw everything they built up away. Just because otherwise then we could get more debacles like the reveal trailer for KOF 14. And I'd rather that not happen. The special effects are pretty cool. Everything looks fluid. Everything it looks less clunky than 14 did in the beginning, which I think is really good. And so far, like outside of like stills of like very specific things that you can find wrong, everything seems to flow together really well. I like it a lot.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Lazy Freddy, you have any thoughts to share about the visual presentation in 15?
Yeah, so why don't we break it down further, like in terms of graphics, like the UI, the UI in terms of like we're talking about the UI is fantastic, very modern looking. It's very like presentable. Everyone was like, wow, is that like a news broadcast or something? That's like very good. And you look at the life bar, it's now clear how much life people have. Like there's like everything is very clear. It's not like overly in your face like some of the recent games like Strive. It's like the combo and all the graphics pop up like that overcrowds the screen. It's not like that. So I think in that aspect it's very good. In terms of like the character models, I think it's a slight improvement over 14, and they did reuse a lot of assets. You can tell SNK has like improved on a lot of the character models, so they look better than 14. Still not like perfect, but it's definitely better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in terms of like the stages look fantastic. Like some of the new stages, like the Pow Pow Cafe and the beach, and what was it, the Southtown Beach. But those are fantastic stages, and I love them. They look a lot more livelier compared to like the stages in 14.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. There's one thing I don't like is like the fireball, like how the fireballs look. Like look at the Joe fireball, Elizabeth fireball, or like just a flashy swipe from Elizabeth. Like, they don't have like the pizzazz compared to like some of the older games.
Yeah.
So that's my only complaint. But otherwise, I think the game looked really nice, especially on a PS5. you guys like boot up the game on PS5, it's like, wow, this game is so crisp.
Ooh, okay.
Looks so nice. Yeah, and like the particle effects, everything looks so much better on a PS5.
Okay, yeah, I've yet to see it on the PS5. I'm very curious to see how it looks. DZ, what about you, man? What's your thoughts on the graphics?
The graphics look great. So I was in the rare boat of people that thought 14 after the graphics patch obviously looked decent. I'm not gonna say it looked great, but it looked decent for what it was. And the fact that they took that and even improved on it, because a lot of people like to forget that Sam Show was made on this engine.
Yes.
And there were like no complaints about Sam Show's graphics like at all. So at least from what I saw. So when I saw like, oh, KOF 15 is going to be on Unreal as well, I'm like, this game's going to be like, I said it before we even saw anything. I'm like, this game's going to be gorgeous. I do share Freddie's sentiment about the projectiles, like certain fireballs. It seems like there was more attention to detail in some fireballs more than others. But even the hit effects, like when characters get burned or shocked, they're really clean. Yeah. Like, because even though they went 3D, they maintained that thing where like the whole character model is going to turn a certain color when they get hit with an element. But even on certain attacks like Cronin's DP, you can actually see like the waviness in the air, like because it's hot, it's fire. Yeah. So, stuff like that, I feel like is a little attention to detail. Even on stages like Ash's stage and the Ikari stage with like the sand and the snow, the characters leave footprints when they're moving around. Like it's actually really cool how the attention to detail they paid to make sure it's like, okay, we want to put in every little thing to make sure these graphics pop. Cool as Ice looks excellent. It's not perfect. I know that they can do better, but for the art style they were going for, I think they did a really good job.
Okay. Well said. Esteban, you want to add anything?
Honestly, everything was the point. All the points were hit on. The biggest thing I'm cool with is just close move. For the most part, anybody with like as clothes, they move. They don't look like they're starched up. Like a lot of the things that like irked me about 14's look, they fixed it. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, some of the fireballs look really weird, and because of that, like some of the supers were like, I still don't really like Joe's supers. Like the tornado supers just look weird, but like there are other ones that look great. Like I like Kyo's super, I like Kate Ash's super, and the Climax's. Iori's looks good, but yeah, there are some that's just like, why did they do it? Why did they make it look like that?
Right.
And I didn't really get it, but hey, I mean, if you got to lose some, then to have something good, then I guess that works out.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
Yeah, I think on my end, the like the special effects, like the fireballs and the fire, they do look a little weird. They look actually worse on screenshots, but then seeing them in motion, I was like, okay, it looks pretty good.
That's how I felt about the UI. When I first saw the UI in screenshots, I was like, ugh, like, this is ugly. What is this?
Yeah, I did too.
I got Marvel Infinite vibes from it, and then I saw it in action, and I was like, oh, this isn't that bad.
Yeah. The UI looks way better face to face. Same with the the special effects. There are some special effects that look a little weird, like Joe's Hurricane. It looks like them little cut out paper spirals or whatever they used to like make in like arts and crafts.
Yeah, that one is a little weird.
Yeah, and it looks like they try to put like too much like color in some of the fireballs. Like for example, of Andy's EX fireball. Like what colors are in that? That looks so weird. It looks like acid tripped like Milky Way galaxy type thing. It looks cool. I mean, it looks cool, but it looks a little weird. It looks a little weird. But overall, everything just looks pretty sharp. I think it looks really good. Like the colors pop out on the characters, especially on the different like costumes and stuff like that. There's a lot of good details. You can see like the stitching and the embroidery on a lot of the costumes, especially like Iori's like jacket. I think we kind of talked about that before with the moon in the background. You can see the little the depth of like the stitching and all that other stuff. But yeah, all that stuff looks good. The stages look great. You know, I agree with what Freddie said. Like the stages have a lot more like personality to them. I mean, they had kind of okay-ish sort of like charisma in 14, but they have a lot more life this time in 15. I don't know if it's because they just add in a couple of like NPCs and audience members on some of the stages and whatnot, but it feels like a festival, like a real like KOF festival this time in this game. And even some of the stages that don't have that much like animations or at all, you know, they still look pretty good. And going back to the like the character models briefly. I mean, at first I was kind of like, all right, they're back to this style, but like sometimes like you can kind of like see a little bit of like black outline, a little bit of the kind of cell shading in some instances. So it's not like completely 100% just like pure, just like 3D type looking models. You know, they put a little cell shading on some parts of the character models, but yeah, beyond that, I think it looks good. I think it looks sort of like maybe 5 times better than 14, pretty much. And
I will say there's some characters that definitely look weird. Like we have to talk about Maxima, right? Like especially in that portrait, like he looks really weird.
Some characters definitely have more time in the oven than others.
Yeah, like Whip is kind of in that same boat too. Not as bad as Maxima, but there are a couple characters where like it almost 14 had the problem where like you could tell which characters they were finished with first, and then which ones they finished way later.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like with this time around, it's like they definitely fixed a lot of characters, but then like a couple characters just kind of went through the cracks, and I wonder if that's gonna change later, like if they're gonna go back and like fix a couple things that may not look right, or if they're just gonna stay, who knows.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point, because I kind of see that too, you know. I don't know which ones I can kind of think of off the top of my head, but there was a couple characters I was like, okay, it looks like that one, you know, took more time than another character. But yeah, that's a fair point, a really fair point. You know what? Why don't we go to another topic? Why don't we talk about the sound? Are people pretty impressed with the sound and like even just like the music choices in the game and the sound effects and whatnot? DZ, you got any thoughts on the sound?
The sounds are excellent. Like the biggest thing that they did that affects gameplay is that command grabs now have a distinct sound.
Okay.
And I feel like that was like they had a sound in 14, but it was like really soft. Like in the heat of the moment, you probably won't probably miss it. It stands out more. Kind of like the old Neo Geo games where like it had that loud ass, you know, that snatch when someone got you with one, and it really helps to know like, okay, like did I miss something, or you know, did I get hit by this? The block sound effects sound really good. Even characters just moving, like you know, like the character footsteps, depending on the stage you're on and the type of ground you're on, the type of shoes they're wearing, like they have a different sound effect for all of that. So I think that's really good. The hit sound effects are really impactful. Like you kind of feel like every hit or slam, whatever move you're doing. And even previous characters that like didn't have distinct sound effects have them now. Like if you hit someone with you know, a lot of Luong's attacks, they play like this whip noise, like when she snaps their leg out. Like little things like that. I feel like it helps people get immersed into the game better. The soundtrack's incredible. I love and hate that the DJ station is even a thing, because I love it because like, okay, obviously you could go back into like whatever KOF you can think of and pull music tracks from it to put into the game, but a lot of the 15 tracks are so good. It's like, do I want to replace this? It's just like
That's true.
it's a hard decision to make. So yeah, I think the sound team, for music, sound effects, voices, everything, like they did a really great job.
All right, cool. Well said. How do you feel about the sound, Esteban?
I'll be completely honest with you. So with my current setup, and I've been playing the game while I've been on Discord a lot. So I have like one monitor that's for like my PC and stuff, and then one monitor that's for the console. So I've actually had it muted this whole time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I haven't really been able to enjoy the sound effects. But of what it is, I do definitely agree. Like the one session I had where I actually heard it, it is actually a lot easier to tell when you get hit by certain things. And I know we're going into sounds, but also like the fact that like command grabs have that red like flash whenever you get grabbed. I think all that is actually very helpful, especially because you can tell people like we have a few new players here in Indy that are learning, and so I'm like, oh yeah, that's a command grab, and like I could point it out, and then they can hear it now too. Also, like the counter hit sounds also cleaner. So that helps a bit too. There's like a lot of good stuff I like about the sound. Music wise, again, I'm not a huge like video game soundtrack person. Like it doesn't sound bad, so that's good. There isn't like a song that I don't like. So, but at the same time, I don't pay attention to it too much. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. Lazy Fred, do you have any thoughts on the sound for the game?
Yeah, so I think the soundtrack is excellent this time around. It's a much bigger improvement compared to 14 soundtrack. There are a few tracks that are really good, but like a lot of them were kind of like boring. I hate to say it, like compared to some of the older games, but like in this game, like I think in 15, most of the soundtrack that I've come across, they're really good, really hype. It's like even just like the training mode stage. Damn, this track slaps. Like and then like go to the beach, Celltown Beach, and I was like, yeah, that's a good track right there. And you know what? And SNK was like, we put out an excellent soundtrack, but if you don't like this, there are 300 other songs you can pick and choose. So like, literally no reason anyone can complain. My only complaint is that it takes some time to unlock, but that's a small complaint in exchange for having 300 tracks. Like, what other game does that other than like a music game, for real, right?
Right.
And sound effects, like the hit sound effects, like I don't have any complaints. I think it works. And my only complaint is, it's a very small complaint about the sound. The sound is like the announcer. The announcer is hype and everything, but sometimes like he just talks shit about stuff that doesn't make sense. Like I'm winning and a character, and then the announcer was like, "Oh, player 1 needs a miracle to come back." Dude, I'm winning. And I was like, oh, player 2 is on match point, and I was like, no, he's like up to, like he's losing.
Yeah. People talk about that. Yeah.
Things about like that doesn't make sense. So I think they really need to fix it, or maybe it was a translation issue. I don't know what. Maybe I need to switch over to another language. But at least in English, I think like sometimes some of the things that the announcers say doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, people are talking about that. Like, player 1 has finally won around. It's like, whoa, finally! Wow, that's a little rude. What's going on with that? But yeah, I agree. The announcer, yeah, he sounds good. It's just, I think it's a little bit too much. Yeah, DZ, did you want to say anything about the announcer?
The announcer definitely needs to be tweaked. The voice lines are fine. It's just that I think the game state needs to be considered when they choose them, because I don't like hearing, I finally won a round when it's only round. You know what I mean? It's only round 2, and I finally beat their first character. You know what I mean? It's not like I lost 2 and then won. So
yeah.
It's a minor gripe, but when you're paying attention to that kind of stuff, yeah, it could be a little awkward.
Right.
Yeah, and it could be like your opponent was down to a last character, and then they just have a bit of life, and you come in with like 5 bars, and then like full health, and then announcer was like, "Oh, player 1 needs a miracle to win. Come on,
dude, I need a hit."
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So some of the situations just don't match what's going on in the game. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But again, I think the sound quality of the announcer is good. Yeah, they definitely have to like fix that quite a bit. But as far as like the music in the game, the music sounds pretty good. Like a lot of the songs are pretty catchy. Even the songs that I kind of don't really care for are kind of catchy. Even like the one of the boss stages or whatever. With what's the name of that stage? It's the one with the little glass cut up sun in the background and that.
The Crystallized Arena, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really too big on that song, but like I don't know why it's like in my head. And then like Fred said, like the beach stage is really nice. And then I like Isla's stage. I know some people get kind of annoyed hearing the rap over and over again, but I mean it's cool. It's a nice little charming addition to the game, because I remember I think a while ago I asked people like, is there any tracks that have like some sort of like rap in them, and there was actually quite a few that I didn't pick up on, so it's kind of good to have that return.
One thing I want to say about the soundtrack, I can't believe I live in an age where there's a KOF stage that has police sirens in the background. I like that. Like the rival team theme is really good, but it's like a lot of times I have to remember that I'm playing a KOF game, because like I hear those sirens and I'm like, wait a minute, what game am I playing? Like, did I switch to Def Jam when I wasn't looking? Like, what's going on? But no, it's the OST is really great.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we are able to select other songs from other KOF games. I do have a complaint about the way to unlock them. It is kind of time consuming, but thankfully there's a guide that someone made that you can just use to like go through it pretty much. But I was like, man, do they really want us to like do this? Like that's kind of time consuming.
Honestly, I put the AI on easy, and just like whatever characters they need, I just find like one basic B&B, and it's not even like a full combo, and I just spam it and it's done and just keep going.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
So you guys, real quick, you guys know the way back KOF 13, you could buy the unlock for all the colors instead of like waiting to play them. I hope they do that with the music eventually.
Yeah,
because it's easy as it is. I'll spend $2 or like $5 to not deal with that.
Yeah, especially when I eventually get my PC port started up, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Already doing it on PlayStation. Yeah, I just want to buy it, be done with it.
Yeah, because I don't have the PC version myself, and then I was thinking like, oh crap, I got to do this for the PC version. Oh damn, So yeah,
and even then, like I think like even PS4 and PS5, like the save doesn't transfer.
It doesn't. Oh no,
it doesn't. Yeah. Because buying one gets you access to both. Because like I still have my PS4, I plan on downloading KOF on it just as a travel setup. But the fact that none of my unlocks transfer over, I'm just like, come on.
Wow. Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah. I'm just thinking about that, for PC. So yeah, that's going to suck. But yeah, hopefully they have a DLC for it. I was kind of wondering where's the 2K2 for the DJ station.
I found it odd that wasn't added when Shermie and Mary both used themes from that game in their trailers. So I found it kind of weird that that's not in there.
Yeah. I wonder why. But yeah, maybe I might ask or something. But all right, why don't we keep going? Why don't we talk about? All right, this might be kind of big. So we're gonna talk about the gameplay. So why don't we just start a little bit by just talking about the controls? Like how everything like feels to y'all, controls wise. Like are moves just coming out as smooth and fluid as you want? Are any of y'all getting any trouble with any of the inputs or or the buffer or anything like that, or anything else? How do y'all feel about the controls so far? Anybody can kind of jump in with this one.
All right, I want to get this out there, and just so we only have to say it once. Bring back reverse DP.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out there now, so we all can go ahead and just. I'm pretty sure we all agree. Like, here's the thing: if this was a game that did not have a DP motion, then I would fully understand it. I'd be 100% for it.
Yeah.
But if you have a Dragon Punch and you can switch sides, there's no way you can't do that motion. And it also takes longer because now you have to actually add a whole nother input.
Yeah, that's true.
So they didn't even make it shorter. They actually made it longer now to actually get that out. And the other thing too is that input worked when it was reverse DP anyways. So I just want to go ahead and get that little rant done. Other than that, one thing I've noticed, I saw Decimo put this up. The fact that backdash specials and Tiger Knee specials are very hard to do.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I do think of all things they should probably loosen the restriction on that just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like super easy, but at the same time, I think it's a little too hard. And I thought I was crazy at first, but I'm noticing that I have a hard time getting run out. Like when I want to get it out,
Ooh.
Sometimes I just feel like I'm not moving.
Yeah, I feel like I have to press it like 3-4 times to get it out or something. I thought.
Yeah, I think. I'm wondering if that wasn't like if those two things were intentional. Just because I know that the backdash, like when K-Dash was in the beta, getting backdash minute spike was nothing. Like it was like how I would in any other game. But in this game, it just seems like it's a bit harder. I don't know if that was intentional. If it is, then I guess we can deal with it. But the big thing I hope is fixes the run and backdash though, for sure. Because sometimes backdash feels like it doesn't come out, and sometimes running feels like it doesn't come out.
Okay. Wow. Fair points, man. Because that's something I kind of noticed as well for myself. Freddie, do you have any thoughts to share about the controls about how?
Yeah. So about the backdash and dash input, like the buffer, it's kind of weird. Like sometimes it's very hard to get it to come out, but I noticed that in this game, the buffer is also lenient in some point that you get a lot of accidental backdashes or dash forwards. So a prime example is that if you want to do like double half circle back, so like, for example, Clark's super double half circle back, you just do it very quick and then you get a dash forward, even after you complete the motion holding back double half circle back. So you can just do like double half circle back twice. Or just that double half circle back, and then you get like that dash up super with Clark. So that works in his favor. But then if you play like someone like Shermie, for example, if you just do it, you just get so Shermie's like a super is double half circle forward. In that case, if you do it very quick, you get a backdash.
Whoa!
You do it.
Okay.
You have to do it slow. Yeah, and I have a video on my YouTube channel showing like the. Showing the issue, but yeah, essentially, if you just do the motion quickly, you just get like backdash. But like in terms of like, some people have complained about it's hard to get like a dash or run in neutral, and that's due to like the game requires you to go back to neutral first.
Right.
So it's kind of weird, like the yeah. So I feel like it is an issue with like the. It's not an issue with the buffering. It's just like the game requires like the people to return to neutral before they can get a dash out. But in terms of the buffering, they actually made it too lenient.
Okay.
That you can just get like double half circle back and then just get a dash.
Right.
Or double half circle forward and get a back dash. Like if you just like play Dolores and just like try to do her now it's like back quarter circle back move. So if you do that really quickly in neutral, try to buffer it, you're just gonna get backdash. And that's not good.
That's weird. That is so weird.
Yeah.
That's something I might have to test out myself. Wow.
Yeah. So it works. It works in my favor now because I can play Mary and play Clark and just like jab and I just do a double quarter circle forward, double quarter circle, double half circle back.
Right.
And then I'm just gonna do like a dash up super. I don't even have to do like a dash up super manually anymore. Just do it, and then the dash comes out.
Yeah, they just guide you towards them pretty much.
Exactly. So
Interesting. That would also make more sense though with how people kind of, because that's something that I know, like, because I play Third Strike and like walk up parries and stuff like that. Like you have to go to neutral first. So I guess that if that's the case, then most likely what it is people having an issue because it wasn't as I guess strict, for lack of better terms, of needing to go back to neutral. People just may not be used to it, and I feel like if people just get used to it and kind of understand that, maybe that would be less of an issue.
Okay. Okay. DZ, do you have any thoughts on the controls? How does it feel to you?
It feels good. I do notice the minor caveats with movement sometimes. But it hasn't really like seriously negatively impacted like my game at all. It's more something like, okay, I just had I just have it in my head like, okay, maybe I should like try a little harder to make sure it comes out, which it's a little annoying, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. One thing I did notice is that canceling from super to super, like either for advanced cancels or climax cancels, is super lenient depending on the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of times where you could put it in like way before, like put the next input in way before like the current super's over, and then like frame one when you're able to, it just comes out. One thing I did notice is that they simplified a lot of follow-ups for, at least as a Shermie player, I noticed that the cancels out of certain moves that change sides, you could put that follow-up in either direction and it still comes out. Like her like Shermie Whip, the quarter circle back punch, that move always changes sides, and she can do either her anti-air grab or her climax out of it. And I tested this during the beta too, just to see like if I was crazy or not. And yeah, it doesn't matter which side you put it in, it always comes out. So I guess they figured like, oh, people don't want to study, oh, what side am I on when I finish this? I mean, make sure it comes out. I thought that addition was kind of cool. I don't know if Clark has that same thing going on. I haven't tested it with him yet. I'll probably try that after this. But that's something I noticed. A lot of, I don't know. It just feels good. It just feels good with a lot of the cancel windows being so lenient. I think they're too lenient. If you want an honest opinion,
Okay.
I feel like it should be a little tighter. Like not 2 frames or anything like that, but I feel like, because that was one thing with 14 with going like more advanced cancels and stuff like that. Like you really had to make sure you had that input in by the time that current super was over, or at least at the optimal point of the super where you were supposed to cancel it. But yeah, like aside from that, like it's not without its faults, but for the most part, I generally feel good about how the inputs feel.
Okay. All right. Cool. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't really have too many issues with the controls myself. I do like the fact that they have like a little bit of like a universal thing with like some moves, like for example, like universal like climax. I think that's pretty good, to have that. That way you're not like trying to remember every character's specific motion for their climax. That's very, very convenient. And I also kind of like the whole like sort of Easter egg with like Cronin, how like he has super motions of double quarter circle forward, but you can also do the pretzel, if you feel like it. I think that's kind of a cool little like Easter egg and stuff like that.
Or like how you can do his climax with like quarter circle forward, all 4 buttons.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. You could do that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And I kind of also like the fact that they kind of changed the input for like auto rush combos. I know like we don't really use auto rush combos that much, but they changed it to something a little more simple, and also that has like options. You know what I'm saying with it. But beyond that, I don't have too many issues with the controls at all. I mean, we could get a little bit into like the whole like input delay thing. For example, like PS4, PS5 has like the most amount, and then PC, seeing reports that it has like way less input delay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But one thing I will definitely say, at least with the PS4 version, the report I saw, it was like 4 frames, which that is the general amount that we have, I guess, accepted for a very long time.
Yeah,
in the fighting game community. Yeah, generally that's the case. Outside of like arcades, like playing like Third Strike on the board or something of the sort like that. Generally, 4 frames has been what we have accepted. I will say the fact that it's more than twice the responsive time of PC is kind of crazy, though.
Oh yeah, Yeah, 100%.
Because PC I think is like 1.9 frames or something like that, and that's also with like a 60 hertz monitor. And then like Arturo found a way to take out like another half a frame off with a premium monitor too. So it's pretty crazy.
Wow. That's that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try out the PC version pretty soon. Mainly probably just to play online and stuff like that, and then use PS4, in case I need to play offline and whatnot. But yeah, I don't have not that many issues with controls. All the other things that people are talking about with the, like Tiger knee motions and backdashing and dashing, I could feel that a little bit, and I hope that SNK like addresses it in a patch or something like that. Why don't we skip ahead and why don't we talk about the system of the game? So, how do y'all feel about like the meter requirements and stuff like Shatter Strike? Like, what are y'all thoughts on that? DZ, you want to share your thoughts on that?
On the system, I like that they expanded on KOF 14 rather than just like completely ditch it and do something like entirely new. Because when 15 got announced, I was a little worried that they depart from that, but no, like I like what they did. They kept a lot of things about 14 that people liked, and either nerfed or reworked some things that people didn't like. Like a comic complaint with 14 was that maximum was everywhere, and it was required for some characters to get even mediocre damage. And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna make sure that almost every character could do confirms like off their lights, and that max canceling is more expensive, so you could still do it. You could still do that raw overhead and convert off it, but it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
I do like that they gave raw max a purpose, because in 14 you never really saw raw max unless your character had a EX special that was spammable, like a fireball or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's really neat. I'm still not seeing a lot of raw max. I think people are just afraid of wasting it. So I guess you have to wait for the meta to kind of develop, and because if you look at old 98 footage, you'll see people like, round 5 or 5 bars. Okay, first thing I'm going to do at round start is max mode because they want that damage boost.
Yeah.
So I think once things kind of like the dust kind of settles, we might start seeing that again. But with 2 bars, it's a hefty investment, so I understand the hesitation. But yeah, I just I see the intent behind a lot of the changes. I guess it just remains to be seen if people are going to take advantage of it.
Okay, fair enough. Esteban, how do you feel about like the system in this game for right now?
So people who know me know that I was not while I played it a lot, I was not the biggest fan of a lot of things in 14. Not that they were bad, but I felt like sometimes they just weren't thinking about certain things. Like, for example, some of the EX moves that were like invincible and plus on block and combo launchers. And then it was just a weird balance of what they did just because it was locked behind max mode. I have not noticed any crazy, ridiculously powerful EX move.
Yeah.
That wasn't like something you had to hit confirm into and now being just a half a bar rather than 1 bar in 13 or locked behind max mode in 14. Shadow Strike's cool. Not a lot of people are using it right now, but it's new, and I mean the game's been out for if you were able to get a broken 3-day copy a week. And if you waited until now, yesterday, so I'm waiting for more people will figure that out. That's no problem. I think when it comes to raw max, I think the first thing whenever we do start seeing it is going to be for DP punishes, while they're in the air, just raw activate, and then when they have 4 bars, then they'll the character will land, and they'll do normal, special, super, super, super. I think that's going to be probably the first time we'll really see that, at least when on the more regular basis. I do like that it's more expensive. I was never a fan of the whole just mash far button, get mix up, and then access to EX moves. You can still do it if you want, there's not like, it's not that you can't, but I like that there is like real loss if it doesn't work out for you. Like it's definitely something you're committing to. I'm a huge fan of that. Otherwise, though, I feel like the with everything in there, the damage is pretty nice. I mean, yes, we're watching like TOD 5-bar, jump in raw max mode combos. But I mean, other than that, like when you're actually playing the game, I've yet to get touch of death. So
yeah.
So everything to me seems like it's working, and I like how everything's working so far. I've been playing really simple. I don't even think I've gone for many max mode combos, and I think that's really cool. So I like that a lot.
Okay, fair enough. Lazy Fred, do you have any thoughts on the new system mechanics or any other things concerning that?
Yeah. So what I like is we can now do EX moves anytime we want, and that changes the game dynamic quite a bit, and it changes a lot of matchups that we can just do EX moves anywhere, and that also increases like the pace of the game, because like if we can just do EX moves anytime without going into max mode, that we can just do a lot more damage naturally. So I like that part. The game runs faster. What I don't like is like now the quick max combos, they're kind of limited because the bar is so short. So I think like sooner or later people are gonna realize that it's almost always unless people play like a funky character like Ash or Hydran, for 90% of the cast, it's almost always it's better to just go straight into the super and then climax.
Yeah. Yep. And
then that gives like you the best damage. So and then that just turns the game into like, oh, hit confirm into super and then climax. So that part I don't really like it, because that kind of like restricts people's creativity, and like a lot of KOF, like the hype that comes from it, especially in the 13 days, is the long combos, and now we just kind of just do the same thing for the most part. So that part I don't really like. I hope they tweak it a little bit, maybe extend the bar a little bit so people can add like an EX move here and there before they go into super and then climax.
Right.
But we'll see. Another thing I don't like is like people can just do wake up throw anytime they want.
Oh, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So that's a change that I don't like. But we are right now we are working on different counter plays, and there are I've already seen like different ways to blow up people if people try to mash like wake up throw. So we'll see how that plays out. Another thing I don't really like, and I guess like now we're kind of going back to the original ways of how run works in KOF. So now we cannot block immediately after we run. So that's a change from 14. So 14 they made it so that you can immediately block after you run. Now we cannot. That's kind of like the traditional way of how it is in 14 in KOF. But since like now people can just wake up throw, it's hard to like just dash up, wait a little bit, and then block. So
yeah,
it's kind of annoying. So you have to find like a way to be like wake up throw, wake up mash. So we cannot just dash up block. So it's kind of annoying. Dealing with like fireball characters, especially now, like the rolls. If you guys notice, like rolls have a lot more recovery. Like, it's so easier to punish. So dealing with like fireball characters, you cannot dash up block. So that's kind of annoying. Like rollout is hard, and you cannot dash up block. So it's kind of annoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
But other than that, like I think the game system mechanics they're great. Not much to complain. It's still KOF.
Okay. DZ, did you want to talk about wake up throw?
It's I mean, Freddie pretty much touched on a lot of the points about it. It's just that it's annoying, but the fact that there is counterplay, it's just we just have to wait and see the best option select or strategy to deal with it. I think Aru put out a video a while ago, like back on one of the betas, where it's like if you run up to the them while they're down and like whiff a close button, like you won't be throwable for a brief time or something like that. So like you could still like properly meet them. It's something weird like that. I think it's a character by character basis, but yeah, the change is definitely annoying. I'd say it's going to benefit like either people who do wake up throw or grapplers in particular, because I imagine the same rules apply with command grabs versus regular grabs. But it was also like that in a lot of the older games too. Like trying to do a meaty on Clark or Shermie or someone like that was generally difficult because they could just one frame command grab frame one. On wake up, it's like, what are you going to do about it? It's just it feels more like that. It's just that I never saw that rule apply to regular throws as well, and that's what kind of throws me off.
That's something that we're going to have to like definitely kind of adjust to. Yeah, go ahead, Esteban.
Well, I'll say, the biggest difference was when it was command grabs, it's like, well, you could always also hop. And then when, they whiff that command grab, you got a beefy counter hit combo. And then like in 13, that was death. Like you died. So, and in 14, it's the same thing. You make that command grab whiff, like that hurt. But in this game, when it's regular throw, there's no whiffed regular throw animation. It's a button. I will say, I think what people have to get used to, and this is something, because like I played tons of games, so like I dabbled in a lot of Guilty Gear. And something that we had to just get good at doing was stopping before we got into throw range and just meeting from that point. I know we love to be like right next to him when we do it, but at the same time, you just gotta stop just a little bit back. But a lot of hit confirms also still work. So it's, especially if you're trying to run up low, most lows, they don't change. It's not like we have a close crouch B. So it's not a big deal, I don't think. Also, other things that can be done, just because I've noticed that they work, if you have a stand CD that makes you airborne, like Mai or Chris or anything like that, that's free. That's a free meaty. And then if it hits, it gets a wall splat. And then you can either just cancel that into whatever for like either like small damage or something, and then they'll probably stop them from hitting buttons often. And then safe jumps. If you get a real knockdown and you get a real safe jump, then they can't mash throw on you. You're in the air. So there's always that too. Just it's more of that thing that we're not used to it, and so we have to get used to it. I think actually by Lunar Bout, I feel like the people who stick with it will definitely be more used to working around it.
Okay. Yeah. Like I was saying, we're definitely going to have to like adjust and learn how to, get around that, even though it can be annoying and it's sort of a annoying change pretty much. I kind of did want to talk a little about like, Shatter Strike. Yeah, not that many people are using Shatter Strike. Like sometimes
I think people are afraid to.
Yeah, I think people don't trust it. I was going to say that. I feel people feel like it's just a waste of like of a little bit of your meter, like if it whiffs or something like that. Do y'all think people eventually start to use Shatter Strike in a more useful way, or y'all think people are just going to just like neglect it just overall?
I think it'll start being used eventually, especially because I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely been blown up by a random Shatter Strike here or there that my opponent may or may not have tried to do intentionally. Just doing my pressure, turning my brain off and just doing my pressure, and I'm just like, okay, like I don't have anything to worry about. I got my setups, and then I just get smacked to go flying across the screen. I'm just like, oh snap, okay, I forgot about Shatter Strike. I need to respect it. A lot of characters have really good confirms from air hit off Shatter Strike as well. I think a lot of people are not really exploring that, because even when they do it intentionally and they hit with it, there's not a lot of follow through.
Yeah, that's
so true. I think, like I said before about the gameplay, let the meta develop and the dust settle, because right now everybody's just finding. The one good thing about the system is that almost every character looks viable in some capacity. Like, even we're gonna have your top and low tiers at some point, but as long as everyone is playable, I think that's what makes a good balanced roster.
Yeah.
Because if you look at KOF 14, like, and this goes back to the roster discussion in general, it's just like a lot of people are like, 39 characters. Like, well, 14 had 50. It's like, okay, well, out of those 50, we had like what 20 that literally nobody was touching. So it's just like, I'd rather have 39 characters that a lot of people want to play, and you see you could load up ranked or go to a tournament and see almost any character on the roster versus 50 characters, and you're seeing maybe 25, maybe 30 on a good day that are actually being used by people. So, I think I think the fact that everybody feels so good and unlocking EXs was like a big thing because a lot of the low tiers of 14 were that way because their best moves were locked behind max mode. So it's just like, okay, well, what am I going to do in neutral? Nothing? Cool. So yeah, 15 changed that a lot. So I have high hopes for the character diversity going forward.
Right. Any of y'all have any other thoughts on Shadow Strike specifically?
I don't get why. Like, I haven't been using it, so I really can't talk that much. But one thing I don't really get is how people haven't been using it more in combo. Because it's literally a half a bar, and it's basically red focus. Like, you just get a free follow-up from whatever you wanted to do. I mean, you can run. Like, even if you like got that, like, I remember with the Iori, I hit like the very max I could of forward A, and I did Shatter Strike, and I was able to run up close C and get like the rest of the conversion of what I wanted to do. And it's like, oh, I get that for half a bar because you get the half a bar back. So it's like I've spent a total of half a bar, and you're telling me I get like a tip, like a max range real conversion here. Okay, why aren't people doing this more? But I'm also not doing it as much as I probably should either.
I think
it's just new.
I think people kind of worried about like the damage scaling from it.
Yeah, the damage scaling is harsh on it, but you get to confirm, so it's like you got to weigh your options at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also carry though, like because like even like stuff that would normally not carry, that still is like an extra character length or so away if you burn no other bar for it. So I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I think people need to explore Shadow Strike a little bit more offensively and defensively. We'll see how it kind of like shapes up, after like a couple months of gameplay and whatnot. I do want to talk a little bit about like damage and using meter. I'm like, one thing I've been trying to do a lot in practice mode, and I don't know, maybe this is something I kind of like carried over from even playing like 13 and 14. Is like I'm trying to get like as much damage I can from using as little meter as I can. Like, can I get like a 400, 500 damage combo for just using like 2 bars and stuff? And it's tough. It's really tough. It seems like mid screen is kind of tough to get that with certain characters, but like corner combos seem pretty good. Like there's characters where you can get 50% off, just from using just like 1 bar or 1 bar and a half. Or even 2, which is a little more common. So as far as like being like economical with your meter and stuff like that, it's something that I'm trying to like explore and develop, and it seems kind of tough so far. How do y'all feel about that? What have y'all been finding?
You got yeah, you got
So
it.
the one thing I will say that I like a lot is that, like, I don't know if it's just you guys. I feel like you're getting meter quick in this game. Like, not just because you gain it when you lose a character, but like I burn supers left and right, and I still always feel like I have a bar somehow. So it's like I'm always able to, even if it's just special move into super, I'm always able to get some kind of like chunky damage off of whatever I'm getting. There you can definitely tell which characters are meant to actually combo though. Like I was messing around with Angel, and like 40% corner or even mid screen is not hard at all with that character. Like she's got all the options you need to get whatever damage you want for like a bar or two. And I think that's also the point, as I think some characters were meant to be like super combo characters. Other characters were meant to just like hit you 3 times and be like a chunk of damage from that. I think I saw, what was it? Clark's EX command grab ground bounces him or something like that. There's some silly stuff in this game, so it really just depends on what characters you're looking at.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Any other thoughts concerning using meters and damage at all?
I feel like the way this game was designed, where SNK definitely wants people to hurt. when you lay your combos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of combo routes and variety with this game, and that's why I said this game's probably going to be one of the most expressive KOFs. Because even though like a lot of people say like, oh, like, you know, 13's HD system lets you do some crazy combos, but it's like when every character was like studied and you found the most optimal combo for that, they all look the same. Like you could look at two people play the same character and it's like, okay, well, that, you know, I can't tell the difference. But now it's like, okay, you can do a combo in the Shadow Strike and then go off of that, or you could do a max mode combo, or you could do, you know, link your EX moves together and do stuff like that. Like there's so much variety with most of the cast with combo routes. It feels almost like they want they want every character to at least be able to go from a max super to a climax super. Because even a lot of supers where it doesn't look like it should make sense, like with when Shermie does one of her command grab supers, she can go into a climax off it, and even though you're on the ground, the game just like puts you in the air so she can hit you with it. It's like okay, like this is clearly intentional, but like when you look at it in motion, it looks a little awkward. But hey, it's possible, so take what you can get, But I think Mary has something similar where they actually. Because from the beta, they actually buffed her to where this max super where she goes back and forth. I forgot the name of it, but when you come down from that air grab, she can climax super that. And even though you input it from the player one side, it swaps her to player two side when she does it. So it's like okay, you clearly just like put this in because you wanted her to do more damage. So sure, we'll take it. But yeah, the game like. Going back to what Mexican said, it's just like I always manage to have meter somehow. Like I'll run around and I'm using EX moves and I'm burning supers left and right to finish my combos, and it's like I either have half a bar for an EX move or I have a full bar, and I'm just like I still have meter. What's going on? And like and I'm hardly ever at maximum. Like I'll like my mid will come in on like. Even if I don't spend meter, my mid will come in on like 3.5 bars or something like that. And it's like I finished the round when I did like 3 supers or something, and it's like, oh yeah, you still got a bar and like 10%, and I was just like, huh, how? Like it's yeah, meter definitely flows, and the damage options are insane. Like, but again, like you said, I haven't been to Touch of Death yet, and I haven't seen anyone land a Touch of Death in an actual match yet. Like even though they're possible, so it's like yeah, I'm think. The damage is there, but it's not there to the point of like, oh, I get touched once, I'm going to die. Unless it's like an anchor. Obviously, if it's an anchor, you got to worry about that. But in a general sense, it's a lot of damage, but it's controlled damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the KOF 13 where you get, you thought that Kim was going to throw you, and then he went low, and bam, you lost 80% with 2 bucks in HD. We don't have that. So that's the good thing. I will say, though, in terms of combo, like, I guess, variety, like, you brought up 13, it's like by the end of the game's life. I will say we do need to be careful when comparing end of game life games to brand new games.
Yep.
Just because of the fact of, let's be honest, 14, it happened. Everybody was doing something different. And then in the beginning, and then by the end of it, everybody was doing all the same stuff because we figured out what kills people, and that's what we want. We want the thing that does the damage. I think we're going to see less of that in this game, though, just because the fact that we have EX moves just available and they're cheap. Half a bar EX move is so cheap.
Yeah, that's true. That's
that's the good thing. The games will look different. The long combos may look the same later on, but the game will look different, and that's really important for spectator view and just to play it too.
Right. All right, cool. Well said, man. All right. Let's shift topics, and why don't we go into something that a lot of people want to know is the netcode and the netplay functionality. So, how has everyone's experience been playing online? How do you like the lobbies? How do you like the menus? How do you like the options for all that? Fred, what do you think? how's your online experience have been so far?
So my online experience has been generally positive. Coast to coast seems fine for the most part. Like that wasn't possible back in the 13 days. 14 is for some people you can kind of play coast to coast, but for the most part, like now I think it works a lot better. However, it is not perfect. Sometimes I notice that like the game would randomly spike up, and then there's like suddenly there's a lot of rollback happening all at once. I'm not sure if that's like due to connection or maybe the game is running slow at some point, but that's just something that happens. And in terms of the lobbies, I think like if you run the system like PS4 to PS4 or PS5 to PS5, that connection usually is quite good. But if you run like PS4 versus PS5, that tends to have a lot more rollback.
Okay.
There's also like some issues with lobbies if you're playing on PS5. So I noticed it, and one of my friends also noticed that like sometimes you get an error where you cannot enter any lobbies. It would just say fail to enter room, and when that happens, you cannot enter any rooms, and you cannot even make a room. It will just tell you failed to make a room. So it's kind of weird on the PS5. On PC side, I think it's mostly been great. If you stay focused on a game, but if you just alt tab and do other stuff, and that tends to introduce rollback.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like we're getting there. It's definitely I'm not being negative. It's just like small things, but we're on a bigger picture. The netcode is a lot better compared to 14. It's not as good compared to like 98 FE or 2002 netcode Mystic netcode, from my opinion. But it is rollback. It is good. We can play coast to coast, or even like people from Asia. For me, on the West Coast, I can play people. Japan is like 120 ping. It's like playable with rollback. So I'm not complaining. It's still good.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
that's good to know that you had a pretty positive experience. I think a lot of people have had it as well. Mexican, how's your online experience have been?
So look, I'm gonna be. Oh yeah. So I hate online, like just in general. I'm not a fan of online at all. The only time I ever liked playing online was basically like the Code Mystics netcodes and Fightcade for Third Strike. Otherwise, I usually avoid it like the plague. But honestly, the one thing that I love about it is the fact that I can actually practice a punish. Because let's be honest, there's like when you're talking about delay, like using delay based netcode, and when the lag is there, you can tell. And like at least I feel like with this, while not perfect, I agree with that. With Blazing Freddy, it's not perfect, but it's really good. Like I can actually hop online, and if it's like if it's less than 100 ping, then I feel like I can actually learn a matchup and I can actually practice punishes. The lobbies are terrible though. Like we got spoiled with 14.
Oh yeah,
because 14's lobbies were awesome. I prefer them more than like the Arc system stuff, because I'd rather have menus than things that don't matter, like avatars and stuff.
Yeah, same here.
But other than that, like if I had to rate it like 1 to 10, I think I'd give it a solid 9. It functions the way I want it to. And I think I don't think I've ever actually played anybody from like PS4 to PS5. I think most of all my matches have all been PS4 to PS4. Just because I haven't had a problematic match. I've yet to play a match that I felt was unplayable.
Okay. All right, cool, good. It's good to know because I've known you for a while, and you always said that you just despise net play. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you know me at all, I'll risk getting COVID to play offline over online. But for this though, it's really good. I've been enjoying my time online. Definitely missed some things. Definitely feel like, I was just like a little off on that punish, but like if the opportunity happened again, 9 times out of 10, I can get it the second time.
Right.
Where like other games, it wasn't happening. So I definitely think it's really good, and I feel like it can be you could definitely use it to actually get real practice rather than just struggling through like with old games.
Right. Okay. Cool. DZ, what about you? How's your net play experience have been so far?
It feels great. I've only had one match where it was unplayable, but that's because the guy's ping was like spiking randomly. Like it would be like 78, which is fine, and then out of nowhere it would be like 410, 203, back under 100. So I don't know. Maybe his internet was like acting up or something. I don't know. But
Wi-Fi.
that was like the only game since because I've been playing since early release on Valentine's Day, and that was out of like what 3-4 days of playing. That's the only match I've had that felt unplayable. Every other match I played, smooth as butter. I get all my punishes. I get inputs. I see some minor rollback sometimes, but it's not anything to the point where it's not like launch Street Fighter 5 rollback where you hit somebody with a super and suddenly you're being thrown. I haven't got anything crazy like that, so I'm thankful for that at least. And especially in a situation like mine where it's like I don't really have locals to go to, and I have to travel 2 hours to New York to go to their locals whenever I hit the move for it or whatever. So it's usually online or bust for me in a lot of situations with the games that I play, and I'm thankful that especially with big tournaments on the horizon, that I can get the practice that I need. And it's not perfect, like everyone else said, it's not perfect, and it doesn't replicate offline 1-for-1, but it's playable and it feels good, and that's the point. Obviously online, I'm sorry, not online. Offline is going to be the ideal environment to play in, but if you're in a situation where you can't, you can go online and feel good about still being able to play the game as you would offline.
Right. Yeah. Well said, man. Yeah. Nothing can really replace like offline, pretty much. Even if like there's like zero like input delay or just overall like no more input delay no matter what, it can't replace that feeling.
No.
I would like to share my online experience. It has been pretty good, really, really good. As far as like laggy matches, I think I did play someone that shared that they was on Wi-Fi and it was all skipping and stuff all over the place. I played some people that they were in like triple digits of ping and stuff like that, 100, like 200, and yeah, it is a little shaky. Anything under 100 feels like really, really smooth, or around like 120, 130 milliseconds. It's pretty good. Like I think it's really, really good. Lobbies wise, yeah, they did take a step back. I agree with what Mexican said. Yeah, it's a massive step back. It's like really like bare bones. Like before 14, you can play at the many different stations and they have all these different like options for the match or the type of rotation that you want. But now it's like it's a big step back. But I mean, it functions well for what it is, but it's just the options just aren't there anymore. Party battle mode is like 2 steps forward and like 1 step back. Like they have this weird sort of like point system, but the upsides is that now everyone can get a chance to play, and you don't need 6 people to play, which is
that's good.
Yeah, which is pretty good compared to back in the day. Like I've said this many times, is you're trying to play party battle mode, you got 5 people, you're waiting for one person, and then all y'all play, and then one person says I gotta go, and then you're waiting again and stuff like that. So party battle mode is a little more accessible and a little more convenient, but now they just have this like weird sort of like point system, that can be kind of confusing. But yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
One thing I want to mention that I think is kind of odd: the lobby system works, but I don't understand how we went from KOF 14. And then SNK Heroines actually used the 14 lobbies like verbatim. They were exactly the same. And this same show, we just dropped it. And then people complained about it, and they said they wanted the 14 lobbies back. And then for 15, it's like they like half brought it back, but like got rid of all the features and like multiple games at once.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like come on, SNK. Like I need them to work with us here. Like we complained about the 14 netcode, but the only issue with 14's netcode was actually playing the game. The lobby system was perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's I kind of wish that I hope in a future patch they could just go back to that.
Yeah, same here. Because they did do that. You're right for Sam's show. So hopefully, I mean, if we give them enough feedback, we can tell them like, hey, the lobbies are just very very limited to players to King of Fighters. 14. I mean, I've said this flat out. We had our CM in the chat. I'm like, yo, netcode is good, but the lobbies are just a step back. I mean, it's functional. And it's well and it's good. Spectator mode is great, but yeah, it's a setback. Even like the little silly stuff, like you remember like the damn noise button and stuff, like the damn cowbell.
Oh, the cheers, yeah,
yeah, like little stuff like that. I mean, it was like, I don't call it pointless, but I mean it was still like charming, to ring the little bell or the boo or cheer and stuff like that. They took it all away. I don't know if it's because they went from like their own engine to Unreal Engine, and maybe they couldn't like bring assets over or something like that. But yeah, it's a step back. But I don't. It felt like we had to like sacrifice good lobbies for like rollback or something, man. But I hope they can like.
I don't know. I don't have too much complaints about the lobbies. I mean, unfortunately, like one thing is like people can play different matches within the lobby.
Yeah.
So that's nice, but that's also annoying a lot of times. So a lot of times, like you go into your lobby and then there's two guys playing private matches in the corner, and then it's like, yeah, can I join? And then there's no way they can know. So that was really annoying. So now
that's true.
Yeah.
Also now you can set like best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever, and then just queue up.
Yeah.
And you can also set up like a private room code. Invite your friends, like post it in a Discord, whatever, and they can join whatever private lobby. You don't have to post a link. You don't have to like invite someone. Just like post like a private room code.
Yeah.
And also now you can queue up for a casual or ranked match. So let's say you run into someone you had a really close game, and after you play your first 2-3, now the options are end battle, and the other option is invite to room match. So you can actually just invite someone. Just thought, oh, I want to play you in long set because like we just had a very good battle. You can just invite someone. Just if you both agree, just go to room match, and then you can play a long set. And I've played like a lot of people that way, and it was generally been fantastic because like in the past it's like, oh damn, I need to remember that guy's tag and add him, in which he can play me again. Now I can just like do it right there in the menu, go to rank match, go to room match, and see if he wants to play. I think that was fantastic.
Yo, I never came across that. That's through ranked, correct?
Yes.
Either ranked or casual. Yeah, after you play your first 2 or 3, and then the options that you can pick are end match or request room match.
Wow, I never came.
But you
across
both have to pick the option.
Right,
yeah. So,
okay.
But a lot of people like if you play like a good match, have a good connection, people usually just go to that because people don't want to queue up anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I never came across that yet. And I am hearing that our rank match has like some different kind of like little things, little incentives to kind of keep people to play. I think like I heard like they give like daily bonuses or something like that. Did I kind of see that correctly?
Yeah, I haven't dissected the rank system yet, but it seems like after you get enough wins, it puts you in a special like mode where you you have to do like as many wins as you can out of 5. So I was at like rank, I think it was like rank 18 or something like that, and like instead of seeing stars, it showed like W's or L's. And I didn't even fill up the whole like row. Like I got like 3 W's, and then it skipped me to like 20. So I think it lets you skip ranks if you get enough wins in a row, to where it'll just like push you further up the ladder.
Okay. All right.
But that can only happen. That can only happen like once a day or something like that.
Okay. That's interesting. And also they have like a rage quit meter or something like that. Like
the fair play score. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you get like a certain amount, like it gets into red and stuff like that, and then it lets like other people know. It kind of like notifies them or something like that. So that's kind of cool. But yeah. I'm glad all y'all had a pretty good time with the netcode. Real quick, why don't we talk about some of the other modes of the game? Like, how's everybody feeling? Like for example, story mode or like the functionalities and training mode and whatnot, and like the galleries. And I know we touched on DJ Station. I mean, we'll probably have to go into that again. But how's everyone else feeling like the other modes that are featured in the game? Fred, you have any feelings on the other game modes? If you touched upon any of them.
So I really don't want to play story mode. So in KOF 14, I only finished story mode once. And in this game, like I might have to play it more just to unlock more music. But like I'm really here just for the battle system for the game. Really not here for the story. So I don't really care too much about story mode. Okay. It's functional. I think like at the end there are some like nice animated scenes and everything in between. So that's kind of nice, especially for new players. And trial mode, it's a step up from 14, but it's pretty bare bones, I would say. Yeah. It does teach you some things like what works, what juggles, the properties of different moves. So that's nice, I guess. But I think they could have expanded on that a little bit more. Right. And training mode is pretty good. Nothing to complain about. It's got all the functionalities you want. Record reversals, record a move, random playback, and it even tells you like the frame data, how plus or minus. I wish they just tell you the frame, but instead of just using that. But but at least they tell you. So I think I don't have too much complaint about that. So training mode is great, and the fact that you can sit in training mode and wait for a match, I think that's fantastic.
For ranked only, right?
Ranked for casual as well, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I have a question though. I had an incident earlier though, like before this call, where when I was waiting in for ranked in training mode, like it ended up freezing the game on me. Like it only ever happened once, but has that happened to anybody here?
I've had that happen to me. Not last night, night before. Because I guess the game pauses a little bit whenever like it thinks it found someone, and it did it once, and it just didn't respond. Like the system was fine. Like I went to like the PS5 interface and it was functional and everything, but the game was just like kaput, so I had to restart it. But that was I only had that happen once. I haven't had that happen at all after that.
Wow.
So I don't know if it was like a server thing or what. I'm not sure.
It's usually like connection issues. Like even when you're fighting someone, sometimes like in between rounds, sometimes you notice as the game froze. Sometimes it will take like up to 2 minutes before they load the next round. Whoa. And then I think that guy probably DQ'd rage quit, but no, it's just the game sometimes just have connection issues. Wow. I think that might be something related.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's my only real problem.
I didn't notice that.
Damn. Well, I hope that gets fixed because like it's kind of weird. Like it kind of freaks me out sometimes too. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, okay.
Honestly, once was all I needed. Like now, when I do ranked, I kind of just I use the menu to search instead. I just don't go in the training mode. But I mean, if it's not a widespread, I mean, this is the first time I've heard of it happening to somebody else. So I know it's a thing. But if it's not a widespread issue, then I think they can address it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Mexican, do you have any other thoughts on like the other modes for the game?
I mean, I'm kind of on Lazy Freddy's end of this. Like when it comes to lore and stuff, I let my community tell me what's what when it comes to new games.
Yeah.
But at the same time though, like in terms of training room and all that stuff, yeah, it has everything you need. I haven't had any issues with it. I do like the fact that you can add lag. You can add input delay. Not that it's like if you really care about your like online ranking and whatnot, and you know roughly like how many frames generally that you want to have that input delay, then cool. But I think it's just cool to have in general, especially going from if you like, let's say you only have PC. Like I have my PS4, I'll get it on PC, but like if you only have PC and you're getting ready for a tournament, we mentioned it. I think we mentioned it off the call.
Yeah.
But you can always add that extra 2 frames. You know, like it's not a big deal. You can always add it and then just get used to it that way. One thing I will say they need to fix is you don't switch sides anymore. But when you go to button config, and if the player 2 person hits options first,
Yeah, that's
it changes
annoying.
player one's buttons.
Yeah,
That needs to get fixed.
yeah, that's been an issue. In the demo builds they gave us for Frosty, we noticed that, and yeah, that needs to very. It's stuff like that you can't test for online betas. You know what I mean? So like something like that, it's like yeah, that needs to be fixed.
Well, in the beta, it actually switched sides.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, it was. So they fixed it a little bit. You don't switch the sides anymore, but now you're messing with the other person's button configuration.
Wow.
So they definitely need to figure out what's going on there and fix that. But other than that, load times are kind of bad.
Yeah. Load times are bad.
They're pretty abysmal.
I thought maybe it was just because like I'm on PS4, and maybe like PS5 would be faster or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but load times are perfect on PS5. Like they load up. So the only time I have extended load times is if I'm playing online and I'm playing somebody who's on PS4. Because even though I'm finished loading, I have to wait for them. But that aside, yeah, load times are quick.
Oh, okay, well, there's that then. But they need to optimize the PS4 version or something.
Yeah,
They definitely need to optimize it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, other than that, I can be patient. It ain't a big deal. But yeah, everything otherwise works other than those couple things. I like it. I like everything I've been doing so far.
Okay. What about you, DZ? Are you enjoying the other modes?
The training mode's great. I kind of wish we had numbers for frame stuff, but the fact that we have anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games will just like, okay, here's practice mode, figure out the frames on your own. So like eventually, I think someone's gonna like break it down and figure out the startup and recovery of all the moves and stuff like that. But just knowing like, all right, this is minus, but it's not minus. Like the other Discord I'm in, that's what we use plus minus that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that's minus. Okay, you should die for that. And then it's like, oh, it's just minus. All right, so you lose your turn, but I can't punish it. So that's the general rule that we've been going by and when we've been testing stuff. Because we've used the online training. The online training is great.
Yeah.
As far as the story goes, because I'm big on lore. I really love my lore. I haven't done all the teams yet. I think I've only done Team of Orochi and Secret Agent. So I got to go do like the other teams that are like closer to like the main plot, or whatever.
Yeah.
But from what I do like is I like the interactions between characters. Like it's actually like a animated cutscene. Because at 14 it was kind of just like, all right, they panned into like both characters' faces and they had a conversation and that was the end of it. You know what I mean? Where now it's like it's a full on like, okay, they're moving around, they're interacting with each other.
Yeah,
so I think that's really cool. I do like the intro for the first enemy character every time. I found myself going through story mode multiple times, like to unlock the music, and I was like, okay, I hope the AI puts this character first because I want to see like, their own personal intro for the fight.
Yeah.
So I think that'll really be helpful with content creation. If you want to make content for like a certain character, you just, fight that character in story mode to get like that little intro clip or whatever. I think that's cute. The bosses, they're a little underwhelming for what I'm used to from SNK bosses. They're better than Verse, I will say that much. But I think, and they have the moves to be true SNK bosses. But even on the max difficulty, their AI is just like, they just sit there for like a second or two and they just randomly decide when they want to do something. They don't react to what you're doing. Matter of fact, the AI on the regular characters is more intimidating than the bosses because, like, Ash will sit there and crouch and hold a charge for however long he needs to and won't do anything until I jump. So it's like, I think the boss programming could be better.
Yeah.
But in terms of design and stuff, they're cool. They're fine. They can be difficult. I just think SNK was afraid that they would turn off newcomers to the game because SNK Boss Syndrome is known far and wide whether you play SNK games or not.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I understand the hesitation on not wanting to crack them out, but yeah, I mean they're an improvement over Verse because that Verse was just like okay. I think the first time I played through 14 story, I was playing a character I'd never even played before, and I just beat Verse first try, and I was just like, wow, this is it. So they're trying to find that middle ground with being, not making it too hard for new people, but trying to make interesting designs. I think I think they'll probably expand on that in future games.
Okay. Fair enough. I would say for myself, regarding all the modes or the different modes in a game, or even just like the options. Like, for example, I like how you can change like the contrast of the background. Like, I think that's pretty cool, pretty neat. I like the customization options. How you can like set like your different little like emblems and your titles, and then you can like register stages and your teams and stuff, and you can like change the little like marquee similar to how it was in King of Fighters 14. I think that's still pretty neat. Story mode, story mode isn't too bad. It's not too bad. I do like how you can kind of catch some like interactions between different characters and whatnot. The bosses, I kind of agree with DZ. Yeah, the bosses are kind of silly. Like, you can even like just empty jump through them, and then they'll just fall for it like 9 times out of 10. And I do like the animations, 3D animations, like in between a lot of the matches, and even in the end, it's pretty good. It's funny because like a lot of people are kind of complaining, like, oh man, why isn't there any like animations like to the end? Like, there's just like still pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, it's okay. It kind of reminds me of like the older games and stuff, how they just have like the still pictures and stuff, and you have to like read what's going on. I haven't messed with what I haven't messed with. I haven't messed with like trials or anything like that. I can't say much about that, but I'm glad that all those different modes are available and whatnot. And I'm pretty impressed. I'm really impressed with like the mode selections in the game. I haven't played offline with anyone yet. I'm kind of curious about like the tournament mode in was it offline versus? I don't know if any of y'all tried that yet. Probably not. I'm not sure, but that's something I might want to explore. And I'm glad online training mode is back. I think that's pretty good. Like, always have that available just in case, even if not that many people use it. Just have it there, for use. The gallery is pretty nice. I have to like fill that up by playing the game more. And I think that's it. I think I'm pretty impressed with the modes. The modes they're pretty good, and all the options within them are pretty good. So overall, I think I have a lot to explore with all the different modes, especially like the tournament mode for offline and stuff like that. But why don't we sort of wrap things up, and why don't we give like every one of us like a rating 1 out of 10, like 1 being bad, 10 being like excellent for the game. So why don't we I'll pick someone. Why don't we start with DZ? Do you have a overall rating for right now? Because we're gonna get the DLC, and then we're gonna get like another version and stuff. So we might have to like come back to this.
Based on what we have now, I'm gonna say 8.
Okay.
There's definitely a couple things that I wish were better. But like a lot of the modes that 14 had, like survival and time attack, were suddenly dropped. I know competitive players don't care about that kind of stuff, and I know that SNK is trying to make a big esports push with this game, but I feel like things like that to give people something to do if they're not into esports or trying to go to tournaments and stuff. Like, I think that stuff should come back. So I will tack off a couple notches for that, but overall it's a solid product. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. So it's good, not perfect, but good. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay. What about you, Mexican? What do you give it a 1 out of 10?
So in terms of like looking at it solely as a competitive game, I think it's a good 8 out of 10. It doesn't quite scratch the same itches as like my absolute favorite games, but that's also a point to where it's like I also played those games for 10 plus years, and I have like that's a whole different story. In terms of like the game as a video game, I would probably make it like a 7.5, only because, like I said, just a couple things you got to work on. Like I said, just the whole thing with character, like button configuration. To me, that bugs me a little bit.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's really good. I like this game a lot more than I like 14 on release. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
So, I think it's a great game. I think it's something that can be explored, and hopefully, just as time goes on and we get more characters and all that stuff, that it keeps improving.
Okay. 7.5. Is that what you gave it, or was?
Yeah, we'll say 7.5.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. What about you, Fred?
Yeah, I'd rate it at 8 out of 10. Just like everyone said, like the game's really good. There are some minor things that they need to work on to make it better. What I hope is they SNK can keep on supporting this, not just with DLC, but maybe they can follow Capcom's approach to Street Fighter, just make it like a season, and then maybe there's some system updates like down the line to spice things up a little bit, like further down the road. Not immediately, but maybe down the road. Little bit of shakeup would be great. I feel like the game is a pretty good base. They can improve. If they can keep on improving it, the game will be perfect at some point.
Okay. All right. Cool. 8. For myself, I'll give it like an 8.25.
8.25.
Yeah. I'll give it like a good 8.25. Yeah. The only things that like I kind of don't really like too much is the step back with the lobbies. The kind of the step back with like party battle mode, single player content. I still feel like, I mean, yeah, we got the DJ station to unlock all the songs and stuff like that. It looks like they wanted people to kind of like play story mode more to try to get the songs and whatnot. But I still like that's kind of like sort of a cheap way to get more people to or to like extend the amount of hours people play. To unlock that and stuff like that, and there's no option to like get a DLC or anything like that. And yeah, DZ brought up like no survival mode or no time attack mode. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, the lack of that kind of hurts as far as like single player content. But again, I'm glad that we have rollback in the game. The lobbies, even though they're a step back, they're functional. Like I think as like a launch, I think this had like a way better launch than 14 on day one. Like day 1, 14 was rough, man. Y'all remember that, man? That was rough. Even at that whole like little week, man, because everybody's like playing with like Nakaruru and Mature and stuff like that, and some of the characters are a little like overpowered. Like we don't really see any of that now, unless there's something I'm not seeing.
Well, a couple things were addressed with the patch they just put out today.
Yeah,
so like the Robert loops in the corner and all that kind of stuff. So someone actually hit me. Someone hit me with that online, like I think like 2 days ago, and I couldn't even be upset. I was like, you know what? I know it's going away soon. I'm not even going to get upset. I'm just like, you know what? You got it. Like, if you
hit you with all the bars. How many bars did they have?
They had like 3. But
okay. That's enough.
They had 3 in like a majority of the 4th, but the DPs between supers build meters, so he built the 4th one. And
God. Oh God.
Yeah, so it was just like I'm like, look, if you can do it, and I know it's a bug and I know it's going away, I was like, I'm not even going to get mad. Like I gave him respect for being able to land it online. I was like, all right.
Oh man, that's something. That's very, very something. Wow. But yeah, I think I'll stick to that 8.25. I mean, a couple little notches down because of some of the like fire effects or the fireball effects. They look a little too psychedelic. They don't have that much like umph in them. It was like, here's a bunch of pretty little colors and lightings at you. You know what I'm saying? I hope it, mesmerizes you and whatnot, rather than something that looks like very like sculpted out and stuff like that. But I'll give it a good 8.25 for right now, and maybe when we get to like the next season or whatever, or when they decided to make another big jump, maybe to like 2.0 or something like that, we might have to like revisit and see how things are changed. If they want to like address some of the bugs and issues that we've kind of like talked about, and what other people in the community are kind of pointing out as well.
One thing I want to mention is that is anyone else like happy that SNK is ambitious enough to give us 4 teams, so 12, maybe 13 characters in the first year alone, compared to 14 where it's like we got 4 per year for the first 2 years, and then they just like did a hard cutoff.
I mean, to be fair, like 4 of those characters that we at least got so far have already been in like they were in 14.
Right.
But
right.
I will say the one thing is if I don't know if you guys ever watched that like YouTube video that was the leak that called this right like to the T.
Oh no, I didn't bother to catch that. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to get leaked.
I don't blame you. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But I will say this though. If the rest of that works out the way it did there, I'm still super hyped for it. I'm not gonna lie. I think in general, like the fact that they're bringing Gato back. I will say I miss Hein. I thought Hein was cool.
Yeah,
I would have rather Hein over Yamazaki personally, but they look cool, and you could definitely tell that Geese stole Kazuya's suit. That's why I went to Tekken 7. But yeah, otherwise though, yeah, I think it is ambitious because it's a lot, and we'll also get them this year,
right?
Which is nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's very, 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 very good, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm really, really excited to check out the other characters that they have lined up. Because yeah, I have no clue. I decided not to look at any of the leaks and whatnot. I think I did like mistakenly like see something. You know, like when you're on Reddit or you're on maybe YouTube or Twitter, and you're just like scrolling and you see like a little like inkling or something. You're like, oh, what the hell is that? But yeah, we'll see. I hope a lot of people like it and whatnot, and I'm just curious, you know, on how they'll like continue to like balance the game, because everything feels fine for right now. We'll see what's in store after like a month or so of playing. But yeah, I think that's it, man. Anybody else have any like thoughts to share overall about like, you know, about this game so far, like anything at all?
So I'm hoping with rollback netcode, the American KOF scene can step up and start to compete with our Mexican neighbors like a little bit more. Like at least I think like now that we can play each other more often and play each other farther, I think like I think we can all step up our game and start to compete a little bit more.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's funny. That's actually a good topic for another show. So, because I know a lot of people have like some strong thoughts upon that. But yeah, I was kind of feeling the same way. Like, you know, now that we have like 98 UM at FE and 2K2 UM, that we have more, you know, ease of use to play and whatnot, and we can play different countries. But I will say, you know, before, you know, we kind of like start really wrapping up, is like I think the camaraderie is like really important, you know, like it's really, really important. That's why like I think like other scenes may be stronger, you know, even just like nationally. I notice like sometimes like you go to a tournament and then you notice like there's a group of players from such and such place, but you know that the camaraderie is really, really strong. Like they want to help each other out, and even though they're not like a big fleet of players, like they have each other's back and they challenge each other and whatnot. So I guess that's what's been kind of going on as far as like Mexico and whatnot. I mean, maybe the camaraderie here in USA needs to kind of be a little bit more stronger.
Yeah, they just have like a lot more people to play with. Like I think that definitely helps with people like getting experience.
Yeah,
helping each other out as well. But like just having like a constant stream of people to provide anytime you want, I think that's gonna help a lot of people. Like we're gonna see. I think like I predict like we're gonna see more Dechimos of the online warriors like step out of nowhere, because like people just all gonna be grinding this all day, and then suddenly with someone who has never played it, and suddenly they become like the best that no one has heard of. Like I think that's totally possible now.
The character specialists
with good online netcode, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
like a prodigy might appear out of nowhere.
yeah. I'm excited
Because
for
like
that too.
everyone just have like access to like a lot of like high quality players like at our fingertips.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty much my last bit is I know I like this is almost like a pot calling the kettle black here, but I will say for those who are like having like struggles with the game, like maybe you got like this was what happened to me. Like I felt like when 14 came out, like I felt like I was barely hitting my strive with 13, and I barely missed top 8 at Combo Breaker that last year when it was a main game, and it's really rough going into a new game. This is no different. Like, it's still KOF, yeah, but let yourself, be easy on yourself. Let yourself actually learn the game before you get overly frustrated. It's gonna, like, sometimes it feels like you're starting all over. Some things, combos are gonna be different. Like, the way things work is gonna be different. Just definitely take your time and go in with a little bit of a level head and, give it a few weeks, a month maybe, and you'll get it. That's my whole thing. I definitely want to say.
Oh, can I tack on to that? Don't get discouraged if whether you're new to KOF or you're jumping back in with 15. You've been playing for a while. We're all going to take bumps. We're all there's always someone better, and even if you're one of the best, there's probably going to be someone that can play on your level. We're all going to get OCV'd at one point or another. Don't get discouraged playing. That's the only way you're going to get better. I've run into like 3 people online where they're on their last character, less than 50%, and they just stop moving, and I'm just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
No one's going to be... The game's only, like, a day old officially? Like, no one's going to be amazing right away.
Yeah.
I want people to... Like, KOF's in the best position it's been in a long time for people to actually try to get into it, and I feel like... especially with so many resources at your disposal, like you've got multiple Discords, you've got wikis, I've seen like my whole YouTube algorithm these days is KOF. Like,
yeah, same here.
I can't go a day and like people I'm not even subscribed to, and it's like, and it's generally good information. Like, yeah, you got the clickbait titles, like, oh, this mission's so hard, blah blah blah, but like a lot of it is really helpful.
Yeah,
and it's people that don't even post KOF content like that, and they're putting out good content for this game. So it's like the resources are there. If you want to improve, just keep playing and do some research. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. And kind of going into that, I would like y'all to share with me some of the content that y'all been working on or have released, because I know some of y'all been kind of releasing videos on YouTube and little stuff on Twitter, or like y'all have stuff kind of in the works. So Fred, I know you got a video. You have a Blue Mary guide. Do you have any other things that you kind of want to share?
Yeah. So I got 2 guides right now. I got like an Ash guide, intro to Ash, how to play Ash.
Okay.
And then my second video was how to play Blue Mary, some basic mix-up concepts and some recommended bread and butter combos for new beginners. So nothing too in-depth, but like these guides are designed for new players to just quickly look at them, 5-minute video, and learn how to pick up a character pretty quickly. So that's basically my goal, to just get like more players to play. It's not like advanced guide or anything. I'm thinking I'll make a few more, depending on when I have time. Right now, I just want to play a little bit more once. But like there's definitely going to be more content coming out.
Okay. All right. Good, man. Yeah. That Blue Mary guide is pretty good. I have to like watch it a few more times, but yeah, it's pretty good, man. Like keep it up, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely keep it up. I wait some more. Esmond, you said you're working on some stuff right now. What do you have like in mind?
I need ideas. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But I will say this: if like I'm on Twitter, Mexican on Twitter as well. Like I try to answer any questions I can. If anybody has ideas or like I guess or questions about how certain things work, like just certain concepts of like playing or like how like some things work. Like I remember during KOF 14, I did a how-to fight and how to like play with grapplers video. That it was kind of long, but it's like I did that because they didn't understand like how to approach grapplers or like either playing them or playing against them. And I like doing stuff like that. I'm definitely more of like a tutorial guy. I'm not a good streamer. I don't like talking to the void. Not a fan of that. But if there's things that even you guys or anybody who's listening like realizes like, hey, there's not enough of insert content here out there, definitely let me know. I have no problem going into that stuff. So, but once I start putting regular stuff out, though, I'll definitely start linking it everywhere, and hopefully everyone can see it.
Right. I have kind of noticed like it is a lot about like presentation, because I'm seeing a lot of people covering somewhat of the same things, but they're just kind of sharing it and presenting it in like a different angle, that may be like helpful or more, basic or more advanced. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with like taking something that already has been made, but kind of spinning it in your own sort of like way, or your own like style or something that you feel maybe more or less helpful, for different types of players or whatnot.
Yeah, I actually just had a conversation with Juicebox about that, because anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of the Orochi team. So I kind of like popped off when it was pretty much all but confirmed that they were coming back. But I put out some basic combo videos for them during the beta, and I just put out a round compilation for Shermie this morning. But I also planned on making like small tutorials for them, like just for their basics. And I was talking to Juicebox, and I was like, well, a lot of people are putting out guides for these characters already. Like, I don't know if I really need to bother. And he's like, well, put your own spin on it. Like voice it over and do some, add a comedic element or something like that. Because different people learn different ways. Like somebody might be interested in watching a video that's like point for point and super analytical and, professional production. You can make a funny tutorial video like the Iron Man Infinite video. Like, a lot of people look at that as a meme, but I learned how to do that Infinite by watching that video, because making me laugh is the best way to get me to pay attention to something. Like, different people learn different ways. So even if you're watching this now and you want to make KOF 15 content or any content that might already be out there, if you could put your own spin on it, just do it. Because I mean, somebody might come across your video and be like, "Hey, like this actually helped me get it," even though they've watched a million other videos that didn't really help them get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. That's good. Very, very good. Let me see on my end as far as like 15 content. I don't know. I'm kind of brainstorming some things too. I'm definitely brainstorming some things. I'm definitely, again, I've just been helping a lot with the wiki and whatnot, making sure that's helpful. I'm even thinking of like doing a bit more of the, the podcast like we're doing right now. I think, maybe that helps someone or some people or, down the road or whatnot. So yeah, everyone like helps in different ways, like find what you're good at and just like keep it going, and don't be afraid to, like experiment. Even here on YouTube, like I'm putting together like playlists of stuff that other people have made and sharing that out. Curating content is like, helpful as well. Because a lot of people have trouble finding stuff. So if you make it easy for people, that's going to be quite helpful. So man, yeah, we're gonna have to make a whole nother episode about that too, about like creating helpful content for people and whatnot, and streaming and stuff. But let's get out of here, man. Let's bid everyone a goodbye. Let's do shout outs. So DZ, do you have some shout outs you like to throw in the air?
Yeah, shout outs to SNK for a stellar game, first and foremost. Also shout outs to my team, Kick Punch Block. They've always supported me throughout the years, no matter what KOF I was playing. So I am appreciative of that. Also, shout outs to just anyone that's playing right now and enjoying themselves. They make these games for us. They don't make them. I mean, I understand at the end of the day, the point of a business is to make money off your product, but you can tell with the amount of like love that they put in a lot of these games. They make these games for us. They don't make them with the pure intent to make a good bottom line. So, anybody who's playing KOF 15 or any KOF and just enjoying themselves, shout out to you guys.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you so much, DZ. Mexican Esteban, shout outs.
Definitely shout outs to everyone in this call right now. Feels like the beginning of a new era when it comes to KOF, because this game is a good game. It's definitely, at least it's starting as a good game. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully it stays that way. Shout outs to moms, because otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's James Jr. Yeah,
that's James Jr.'s thing. I'm gonna bring that. I'll bring that in. But shout outs to also all the scenes. Like all these events are coming back. Definitely support when you can. It's nice to see like us trying to move forward, even though it is a problematic time in the world.
Yeah. True.
And also just special shout outs to the people, at least in Indiana. From me at least, it's nice having a bunch of people to play when I used to be the only SNK player. It's nice actually having like more than a handful of people playing. So shout outs to all them too.
All right, cool. Lazy Fred, shout outs.
Well, shout outs to everyone who's listening. Shout out to all the new players who's trying out KOF 15. I hope you're having a good time. Shout outs to our other Dream Council admin, King317, Hang, for picking up my copy. Went out of his way to pick up my KOF copy, so shout outs to him.
Yeah. Shout outs to Kane.
Yep, and that's it.
All right, cool. Great. Yeah, shout outs on my end. Yeah, shout outs to all y'all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know it's a little kind of like a short notice, but next time we'll try to plan something out a little further ahead. Shout out to everybody that's listening on YouTube. Shout out to all the different KOF communities, people in different Discords and whatnot. No matter what, coming across a lot of like new players, and yeah, we might have to do an episode solely for new players, man, because like a lot of people, including myself, like we were noticing, like I won't say they're struggling, but there's a lot of questions that new players have, and some people may be afraid to ask some questions and whatnot. So hopefully, with other people's questions, their questions can be answered. But yeah, I'm excited for like the new blood and stuff like that. So we need to take care of the new players, because they're going to be the next generation pretty much. And shout out to everyone that's doing different events, offline events, online events, and whatnot. Thank y'all so much, all the TOs and the bracket runners and the people that put in like pop bonuses and stuff, and to all the players that participate, for all the different KOF games and whatnot. Like, mad shout outs to you, and for all the content creators, even the people that are doing the kind of clickbaity stuff with the thumbnails craze and stuff like that, man. I mean, they're bringing attention to the game to different people that don't know of KOF. So mad props to them. But yeah, thank y'all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, man. It was a joy. I know that it was kind of a long time. I think the last time we've had like a podcast collectively was maybe like a year ago. So yeah, let's not make it that long of a stretch of time. Like, we should definitely like talk more. So yeah, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching, and this concludes another installment of the Dream Council podcast. My name is Desmond, administrator of DreamCouncil.com, and until next time, keep playing, keep learning,